What is going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you guys a brand spanking new video. Today we have a full setup. We are working at the bar and we are creating some cocktails. The video for today's video is going to be what is the best cheap mixer for an old fashioned. Today on the lineup we have Old Forester 100 Proof, Buffalo Trace, Wild Turkey 101, and Woodford Reserve to represent the Kentucky Derby that just happened. Which one is going to be the dark horse? Which one is going to come from behind and win today's Battle of the Bourbons? Best cheap mixing old-fashioned bourbon. Let's get right on into the video. Alrighty guys, so each glass here has markings of which one is which. When I make my old fashions, I typically don't like to dilute it too much. So I pour it right into the glass and add one of my big rock balls in there and just stir it up as is. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I also have my own syrup that I make, which is a 2-to-1 ratio of sugar to water. But then I also add in 2 sticks of cinnamon, 5 cloves, and 2 star anise into that mixture, and that is how I get this nice dark brown, almost maple syrup looking cocktail syrup. And then I also, when I make my old fashions, use 2 dashes of Angostura bitters and 1 dash of orange bitter. That is how we are going to make today's cocktails. They are all relatively the same. The only difference is the bourbons. So let's go ahead and pour the bourbons into the glass, spin around blindly, and then we're gonna add the other ingredients and go in blind. Let's go right into it. First up is Woodford on the left. We're gonna do 2 ounces. Next up, we have Wild Turkey 101. Again, we're gonna do 2 ounces. Next up, we have Buffalo Trace. I am almost on this bottle. 2 ounces. And finally, we have Old Forester 100 Proof. 2 ounces. So we have the same amount of bourbons in each. We are going to do a 1/4 ounce of syrup. All right, sugar is done. Next, 2 dashes Angostura bitters. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And the final ingredient, 1 dash of orange bitters. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alrighty guys, so these cocktails are created. I'm going to give them a quick stir. So they're not fitting on the spin guide. So I'm gonna mix them up right here, a little bit, best I possibly can, and then spin this guy. Alright guys, absolutely no idea what is in each of these cocktails. You guys will. But let's go get our ice balls out of the freezer. I love this ice ball set from Target. It is the best and $10 investment I ever made. I'm gonna drop our ice balls in. All right guys, ice balls are in. We're just going to do a 10-second stir for each ball. So these are not usually the glasses I use for my old fashions. I usually use smaller glasses, but I wanted to have 4 of the same type of glass, and this was my best option. But let's get right on into tasting these fantastic cocktails. Glass number 1. Super mellow on the vanilla. I'm getting a little bit of oak. Those orange bitters come out really nice in there. It adds a little bit of a floralness to it. Didn't dilute it one bit and get a little bit of that like alcohol burn, but it's nothing too crazy. This one is fantastic. Really good. You're getting a little bit of the cinnamon from here, a little bit more of those baking spices, but you're also getting the vanillas and the caramels from the bourbon as well, which complement that super well. Let's move into number 2. Wow, completely different. I'm getting more of a brown sugar almost on that, whereas this one was more of like a must into an oak I was getting off of that. This one I'm getting more of that bold sweetness with a brown sugar almost turning that into like a maple syrup almost. It's really, really good. There's no burn like that one had, so I'm not quite sure if this one's on the softer side of the proofing because we do have 100 and 101, and these two are both in the 90 area. But that one's super, super nice. That one's really, really nice. Let's move on to number 3. All right, number 3 here, guys. Number 3 is just, how do I say it? It's mellow. It's very, very mellow. There's nothing complex to this whatsoever, whereas these two had something completely different going for them, with the sweetness from this one and the musty oakiness from this guy. This one here, you're just getting a little bit of that bitterness. You're getting the orange bitter in there as well, but nothing seems to be complementing each other really, really well. But it does go together. There's just nothing that sticks out from this guy. Delicious drink. I wouldn't send it back to the bar whatsoever. Let's move on to number 4. Number 4. Wow, this guy is super, super bright. I got that caramel, I got that vanilla, but I also get that cinnamon and the bitter from the bitters. Really, really good. Almost like an allspice in there. A little bit of that orange, but I'm also getting more orange than anything else on number 4. And I don't know if it's from that citrus from the specific bourbon that's in there. Yeah, this one is super, super bright. I'm getting, off of that orange as well, I'm getting almost like a lemon zing in there as well. Super citrusy on this guy. Really, really good. This one right now is in the lead, so I'll leave him right there. And then I believe this one was in second place, 3rd and 4th. So we're gonna go through one more time and see if we can decipher anything different out of these 4 after they've been sitting and chilling for a little bit. Let's start at number 1. Again, I'm getting that oak and a little tiny bit of char, but nothing too crazy. This one is definitely the most oak forward, and it's not an unpleasant oak forward. I think that the sweetness from this and that oak char really brings a nice balance into this cocktail. Let's move on to the second one. Yeah, number 2, it's super well balanced. That sweetness with the caramel, I'm getting a little bit of a maple syrup on there as well. Granted, that's close to a maple syrup, but it's not quite there. But I think that the bourbon that is in this specific drink is making that taste more on the maple side. That orange is really, really nice. I'm not getting that char that I was getting on the first one, but it's still very well balanced. Let's go on to number 3 again. All right, number 3. Number 3 is so good, but it's the most mellow out of the 3 that I've already had. And the only thing that I'm really getting off of this guy is a vanilla note, and I'm not quite sure which one accounts for that. If I were to guess on that, I might have to say that would be the Old Forester 100 proof, but I'm not quite sure. I really don't know because I'm going in blind. It's still delicious. I would not send it back, but it's the most mellow out of the 4. Let's move into the final one more time. All right, so final drink right here. I mean, even on the nose, I'm getting that citrus almost, and it smells very, very nice. Super bold. I'm getting that vanilla, I'm getting the caramel, I'm getting a little bit of a char. Different than this char. It's more of a peaceful char compared to like a toasted almost, like a second finish, but there's no second finish bourbons here. And it's really, really nice. That orange with the lemon zing is still there even after sitting out for a couple of minutes. And it's super, super pleasant. Okay, I have my lineup. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's find out what number 4 was. Number 4 was the Woodford Reserve. Kind of surprised, because I do really, really like that. But I could also find that being true because Woodford is a very mellow bourbon. Let's find out what number 3 was. Number 3 was the Wild Turkey 101. So, let's find out what the winner of the best cheap mixer is for old fashions. Number 1 goes to Buffalo Trace. That means number 2 was the Old Forester 100 proof. Now, I'm not surprised because I really do enjoy Buffalo Trace as my go-to mixing bourbon. But we all know that the prices of Buffalo Trace in everywhere is fluctuating. You can find it for $28 or you can find it for $60 sometimes, and it's absolutely absurd. All four of these should be under $30. And granted, they're all delicious bourbons in their own right. They're all completely different. They all have different flavor profiles, and you're not gonna go wrong with any of them. But for today's video, the Buffalo Trace came out on top. So, number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Guys, you can't go wrong with any of these bourbons. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. We are climbing right now. We are at 153 subscribers at the time of recording this video, and I absolutely love the support and help that you guys are bringing to the channel. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Again, this has been Nathan with The Everyday Drinker. Cheers.